Super cool tin.
Yeah, it's an old one.
Or has it actually got comics in it?
Comics that are like 12 cents. Is that good?
Yeah, these
They're
are just
used.
ragged out. He read the paint off of them. I may not know much about comic books, but I do know how to do research. If you're like me and you're an everything seller, you're occasionally going to come across things that you want to sell that you don't know much about. I've got a whole collection of comic books that I don't know much about. I genuinely don't know when I open the tin if I'm looking at a $5 collection or a $500 comic book. I don't know. And I want to be able to list them accurately so that the buyer ends up happy, but I also want to maximize my profits. I've already spent the money to have them. So now what can I do to make sure that I get a fair value for each one of them? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. What we're going to walk you through will apply to things far beyond just comic books. I'm just going to use these examples to show you what I've done. I picked out one of the comic books. It's this one right here. I have some Superman comic books and Wonder Woman and the Jetsons and things like that I know. I don't have a clue who the Atom is. So I need to start with this right here. And we're going to figure out, how am I going to list this? Am I going to put it on a $5 buy it now? Am I going to put it with, I have some other of this series, the Atom. I could put it with those and maybe make a lot. I don't know what's best yet, but I do want to find out. So I picked this one to start because I looked at it. You have to admit, that's pretty awesome. The Atom, just from doing a little bit of reading, was like the smallest superhero. I think it says it down here in this corner. And I know enough about comic books to know that a lot of the information will be right down there. And this is the Atom #1. So what I'm hoping is this comic book is worth thousands and thousands of dollars, although I'm skeptical of that. But one can dream, right? The next step isn't about memorizing what the Atom is worth. It's about recognizing patterns when we're doing our research. And so we're going to start by, I'm going to get on eBay and we're going to look up the Atom #1, 1962. It tells me that there are 171 listed, and I can tell you with something as non-specific as these words up here, there's probably going to be things in here that aren't the same thing that I have, especially as I scroll down. This is the Atom, but it is a different book. Look at these prices, $65, $220, $240. If you've done this very long at all, while the listed prices are important and you need to look at them, that doesn't mean anything at all about what they will sell for. We're going to look at that in just a minute. But I do want to get an idea. There's definitely some other things mixed in here. Goodness gracious. I don't know who Solar Man is, but I need to go through my tins and see if there's one of those in there. All right, so the prices look high. Now I am going to go over here and I'm going to sort by sold. And we're going to look at this a couple of different ways to see what matches my comic book the best. Right off the bat, here's $5.95. Big difference from the prices we saw earlier. But looking at the cover, look here. Repro cover. Okay, so we're talking about the cover on this one, and it sold for $5.95 because it's not the original cover. Let's open that. It's not going to look special because in the inside, oh, see, it's completely separated. And they just printed a new cover. Okay, all right. So that's what brings $5. So let's go ahead and let's check out the $43 one. All right, this one just says good condition. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on that. That says there's 2 staples in this. That's kind of similar to mine. I would say maybe I don't see the staple though. I don't see either staple. Let's scroll down here. Oh, check this out. Okay, I was going to say mine was in the same condition because my staples are a little bit worn. Their front cover is completely torn loose, and this one sold for $43. I think that bodes well for mine. Let's scroll down. Let's look at a couple of others. So you got to be careful because this Atom #2 isn't the comic book that I had. Here is another one. Atom #1 DC Comics, low grade silver. cover barely attached. So that's the third one in a row that's mentioned the cover. Because one of the things I'm looking for when I'm listing this is I'm looking for patterns in the genre. So I'm looking for things that comic book buyers are going to be looking for. If I were listing pottery, I would be looking at all of the things that they mention. So I'm looking at this one, big creases in the cover that I don't have to the same degree. I do have, I think, one long one that runs down this way, but certainly not as noticeable as this. But they all mention the cover. Oh, look at this. Not only is that cover barely on, that looks like it is taped on. And if that cover is taped on, mine is clearly in better shape than that. Oh yeah, there's no comparison. Mine is in better shape than that. And that one sold for $40. One of the things I want to do is, I know that they've sold for as little as $6 plus shipping. I am going to go and I'm going to sort this by highest first, and let's see about the things that they talk about. $4,500. Okay. What makes that one different than mine? I can tell you just from looking at the listing here, when I see this number up here in the corner, and this is in a plastic case, this has been professionally graded. So now, how do we take what we've learned about this particular type of item and we get it listed? Very clearly, we saw a $6 one and a $4,500 one, with the only difference being the condition. Well, no, because one of them had a fake cover. So big difference, but it comes down to condition. So when I list mine, number one thing I need to show, the condition. I don't want that to be a surprise to anybody. So even when I describe this one as good, in good condition, I will spell out in the description that I think it's in good condition, although I am not an expert at knowing how to grade these. I'm just going to tell them up front, I'm not sure. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. Look at the pictures and see what you think. Here's the other thing. I have a pretty good idea what the floor is for this. We saw some of this exact same comic book with the cover torn completely off that sold in the $40 range. I don't think I have a $200 plus comic book because those looked better than mine. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take really accurate pictures of this. I'm going to take pictures that show the cover. I'm going to show that spine. I want to show those staples because mine has a few tears there. I'm going to show the corners. I'm going to show the back cover. I'm going to open the comic book so that you can see the color of my pages. Instead of me telling them what color it is, let them look and decide. And I'm going to take these pictures on a white background so that it shows up as clear as I can possibly show it. So I think on this one, because I know the floor and I don't know the ceiling on the price, and I feel like there will be some activity around it, I'll start it at like $30 plus shipping. If it doesn't meet the minimum, then I'll probably list it for $30, buy it now, or best offer. What we've just covered, honestly, it is transferable to any number of different categories. If you're like me and you're an everything seller, you're going to come across collections that you don't know anything about. And research can not only show you what it's worth, but can also tell you how much to list it for and how you want to list it. And it can show you what you're supposed to show in your photographs to put your buyers at ease. So first step, identify those things that you don't know. Figure out what it is. Comic books are easy because they're written on them what they are. Pottery and jewelry and some clothing and things like that, they're a bit harder because they may not say on them what they are. Google Lens is your friend, and spend some time figuring out what you have. And then the next step, check sold listings. We are not just checking prices. We are looking for patterns in the things that they're talking about with those items, because that will tell us what we need to say about our item and what we need to show with our item. So the research is our guide for the listing. Let research show you everything that you need to say and show. Then we price it realistically, because I am also not a collector. I want these things listed and sold so that I put money back in so I can go back out and do the thing that I love, and that's to find these awesome things before they wind up in a landfill somewhere. That's all there is to that. This is a simple process, but it can be time consuming depending upon how rare the item you have is. But if you do it correctly, you are going to maximize the profits that you make on the things that you've already purchased. That's it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to see you real soon on the next one. Bye.